Today is such a bittersweet day. Unfortunately for me, I am saying goodbye to my beautiful 2022 Royal Enfield Himalayan. But this bike is just starting its life. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jess, aka Her Two Wheels, and I ride all things two wheels. A little backstory on this Royal Enfield. I actually partnered with the brand Royal Enfield back in 2021 and 2022, and I was working with this motorcycle to practice my off-road riding capabilities. I'm not an adventure rider. This motorcycle has been great. I have taken it to Sturgis, South Dakota for the Get On ADV Fest. I've ridden through some amazing roads out there. I had some amazing experiences and some interesting crashes. But this little motorcycle was so fun and gave me enough confidence to actually start branching out into a bit more bigger and more powerful motors. So this little Himalayan is going to a new home, and I am so excited about it. After owning this motorcycle for a little over 2 years, we added a lot of amazing parts to the bike, mostly engine protection, upgraded tubes and tires. We have some upgraded handlebars as well as luggage back here with the Sedici bags and the luggage rack. All in all, this bike has been perfect for my needs. The only thing I wish I could have gotten more out of it was speed. And that's just part of the charm of these little motorcycles. 411 cc's, a little over 430 pounds. Stock, not with all of our parts on it, but it was everything I needed to give me the confidence and take me to new places. Beautiful little toff. Last day together. So let's go ahead and gear up, hop on the bike, and say our final goodbye.
So I've been riding this super fun, beautiful, perfect Himalayan around since very early 2022 or mid 2022. I think I got this motorcycle in June of 2022. And as I mentioned, this bike has just really been able to give me the confidence and the experience that I was looking for when it comes to riding on roads a little less traveled. If you guys don't know, I'm mostly a cruiser touring kind of motorcycle. I ride a lot of big bikes, big baggers, and wanting to take some more off-road or down the beaten path type of roads to go camping or just exploring on a little day trip is what I've been wanting to do personally. I have posted quite a few videos on this YouTube channel on the Himalayan, but most of the riding that I've done on this bike has actually been off camera because it is just so fun to put around town and a very lightweight, nimble bike. So if you guys don't know, I just recently upgraded to a brand new Harley-Davidson Pan America, and that was always the goal. You know, ever since I very first rode the Pan America back in 2021, I think I rode it the summer of 2021 for the very first time, and then I took my off-road training course on it in 2022. So I knew from that moment on that I would own a Pan America one day. I just had to kind of wait for finances. Number one, those are not cheap motorcycles. And the bugs, you know, working out all of the kinks. Those Pan Americas have been plagued with issues, and I'm very well aware of that. So that is just something that I knew that I would bide my time and wait for. So obviously I got my new Pan America, and there is just no real reason for me to hold on to this motorcycle and waste space. If you guys don't know, I did just trade in my 2018 Harley-Davidson Road Glide for my Pan America, and it felt so good to get rid of a second Road Glide. You know, you don't need two of the exact same motorcycles if you're only one person riding it. So I'm getting rid of this Himalayan because I want it to go to a good home. So when I made the listing for this bike, you know, I put on the description that this is a perfect beginner motorcycle. I want somebody who is eager to learn to ride on something that isn't going to, you know, break in half if you drop it or crash it or something like that. It's such a simplistic motor. It runs perfectly, and that's exactly, I think, what we found. So I was contacted by a gentleman who had just recently passed his Beginner Rider Safety Foundation class, and he was looking for a bike. He even admitted, he's like, you know, I'm more into cruiser style bikes, but I'm such a tall guy. I feel like I don't like that I can't stand up on it, and I feel low to the ground, so this is perfect.
And I was even more excited to find out that not only did he just pass his beginner rider course, but his wife also took the course with him. So both of them are going to be learning how to ride and, you know, really getting their sea legs on their motorcycles on this little Himalayan. And it's the perfect love story. I'm very, very excited for the life that this little bike is going to have. And I think he even mentioned that he lives on a gravel road. So I was like, whew, yeah, I would definitely want a bike like this also. So it's so nostalgic to me because even though I've been riding for 9 years, the idea of being a new rider and not being able to get my first motorcycle home, having to have somebody ride it for me, it's still so fresh in my mind. So I'm actually I'm gonna go meet up with his wife right now. I'm gonna show her the motorcycle, and then I think we're going to transfer the title over. And I even told him, I was like, if you want, I'm more than happy to ride this motorcycle to your house, because I'm very well aware of how difficult it is to want to buy something and you don't know how to get it home. So I'm very excited for this little bike and the life it's gonna have. So this is our final ride together. Little Toph.
So I feel like a lot of people are probably going to judge me for wanting to get rid of this motorcycle as soon as I got the Pan America. And truth be told, until you guys are paying my motorcycle insurance bills, just mind your business, okay? I had to open up a separate insurance policy because of all of the bikes between myself and my husband. So yeah, it's time to liquidate some motorcycles. And once again, it's not even about the cost of keeping this bike insured and maintained in a garage. I don't want to waste its potential. I want this bike to be ridden and to be loved, and I want to give somebody else the opportunity to start their riding journey. So the things that this little motorcycle has taught me that I personally was unable to learn on any of my personal bigger cruiser bikes. This bike taught me that it is way more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. This bike taught me that things just, it's easy. This is a tractor. That's what I tell everybody. This is a little tractor motorcycle, and it just wants to go. I don't think I've ever stalled this bike riding off-road. It has performed flawlessly for me almost every single time we've taken it on gravel. I've also learned that there is a wonderful cult following to not only the Himalayan, but the brand Royal Enfield. It is an amazing brand. I'm very happy that they have finally come to the United States in a big way. I'm proud of the brand and what they're accomplishing. I love the motorcycles they're producing, and honestly, I don't even think the Himalayan is my favorite bike from Royal Enfield. I think they really knocked it out of the park with the Hunter. I think the INT 650 is a beautiful motorcycle, and I'm just very, very proud of everything Royal Enfield is doing and what they're bringing to the States. So super excited to hopefully get some new riders that brand loyalty as well, and I'm just really excited for the life of this beautiful machine. Well, I don't think we'll be finding any dirt roads, but I did actually just meet up with the new owner, and they loved it. She bought the motorcycle, and we are officially going to drop it off at her house for her and her husband, because like I said, I've been there. I couldn't ride my first bike home, and I'm just more than happy to do a personal delivery for them. But I wanted to take some back roads just to kind of enjoy our last little ride, but I also wanted to kind of prove to her that the motorcycle can do highway, can go over 70 miles an hour. I just let her know, like, you might not want to. It's not that enjoyable, especially if you are a new rider. I think my favorite thing about this bike is the fact that it is just pure. It's pure machine, it's pure motorcycling. You're not gonna hop on here and whiskey throttle yourself off. You're not gonna probably injure yourself because it doesn't have a whole lot of torque and it doesn't have a whole lot of power, but it has enough to do everything that you need it to do. I remember the very first time I hopped on a Himalayan, I absolutely fell in love with the analog dash screen. I love being able to see everything you need to see on your motorcycle to know what's going on with it. And the nice thing about this 22 is it comes with the tripper up there, so I don't actually ever use it, but I like that it's an option. So if you guys are interested or thinking about checking out the Royal Enfield Himalayan, I will say that Royal Enfield now has a very large variety of motorcycles available here in the United States. If you can find a dealer near you to go check one out, throw a leg over, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with just how universal and utilitarian a lot of their bikes are. I just think it's so funny that this is such, like, this bike is so popular in all different parts of the world, and then I hop on it and I feel so, like, exposed to the elements. I feel like a little unstable because it is so lightweight and so nimble, and I'm just used to much larger motorcycles. It's just funny how that works. But I personally know people who have traveled the country, who are traveling in all different parts of Mexico, India, Europe, Asia, and like, it's just fascinating that this little machine can do so much, and it really does just want to go. So I'm not trying to sell anybody here on this bike, but I do think if you are a new rider and you want to get into something that can literally do everything, the Himalayan is a fantastic motorcycle. I'm very excited that it's going to a new home with 2 new riders, and hopefully they can just give it the life that it really deserves. My very first motorcycle was a 2004 Honda Shadow. It was only a 4-speed 600cc, and I immediately knew that I wanted to upgrade on that motorcycle. It taught me everything I needed to know about being a beginner rider, but I quickly learned that I wanted to go a little bit faster and a little bit farther than I thought I would. So that's why after my Honda Shadow, I went ahead and purchased my 2018 Harley Davidson Dyna, and it's just kind of been history from there. While we were at the title office, a gentleman walked up and he's like, "So how fast can that thing do 0 to 60? And my husband said, roughly 45 days. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's not untrue. It's a fun little bike, and it will get up to speed, but you kind of gotta wind it up, you know? I just feel so good. I feel like this bike has given me the confidence and the beginner riding experience that I needed for my off-road adventures, and now I keep repeating myself. I'm just so happy it's going to a home where hopefully it's gonna foster somebody's newfound love for motorcycling, and it brings me back. It really brings me back to when I was very first learning how to ride. All of the excitement and the jitters, the nerves, and such a good time. It doesn't go away, by the way. Every time you buy a motorcycle, new or old or whatever, it's still exciting. So this is my final goodbye to this beautiful toffee girl, and I can't wait to see where her adventures take her in the future.